place that's as big as Europe, and I'm only covering a quarter of the country. It's got some of the biggest mountains in North America, cowboy madness, spectacular wilderness, and some of the least populated areas on Earth. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Western Canada!
Bordered by the Pacific and Arctic Oceans and the USA, Western Canada's 4 provinces are bigger than the European Union, yet with less than 9 million inhabitants. My 5,000-mile trip starts with Saskatchewan's legend of Grey Owl. I go to Alberta for the crazy Calgary Stampede and search for grizzlies near Jasper. British Columbia offers stylish Vancouver and wild rides in Whistler before I fly to the vast wilderness of the Yukon, seeking gold and rafting the Tatshenshini River.
I'm here with my parks guide, Colleen. We're about to go learn about the legend of Grey Owl.
The trip to Grey Owl's cabin starts in Prince Albert National Park on Waskesiu Lake, ending up in Lake Adjuan. During the 1930s, Grey Owl was Canada's most celebrated Indian and conservationist. His cabin is so isolated, it's a day-long epic journey just to get there.
Well, this is the beginning of the rail portage, and we'll stop at this dock here, bring the canoe up onto the rollers, and see if the rail car is there.
And then we carry the boat over ourselves?
Yeah, and just roll it up on the rollers here, and then hopefully the rail car will be there, and we'll load it up onto the cart.
You have to canoe across 2 lakes, carrying the canoe in between. That's called portage.
Is this cart always at the end that you're at? Or?
No, we were just lucky that it was waiting for us when we got there.
That's what I'll say.
And then, yeah, so when we get to the far end now, we're going to leave it there.
And we made it.
Yeah, end of the portage.
It looked pretty flat, but a lot of it was uphill. This is beautiful. I mean, look at it. It's like an exotic beach in the middle of nowhere. And it's all mine.
This is the first lake you have to cross. It takes about 4 hours to paddle across. Then, you get to the second portage. No rail car assistance this time. In the 1930s, Grey Owl started writing and lecturing about conservation, presenting himself as a half-breed named Grey Owl. Eventually, Grey Owl became so popular, Parks Canada installed him here on Adjuan Lake as a conservationist.
Oh, look, here's the cabin.
Where?
Right around the corner here.
Oh, yeah.
Look.
Wow.
Oh.
This is amazing. This is like your own private lake.
That's right. That's what he said. Far enough away to gain seclusion.
Initially a trapper, the transition to conservation happened when Grey Owl became attached to the orphan offspring of some beavers he had trapped.
Oh, wow. It's an actual beaver lodge here, huh?
That's right. Actually, this cabin was designed so that the beavers could make their home in here. Might be the only cabin like this in the whole world.
I would think.
Yeah, so his pet beavers, Jelly Roll and Rawhide, they built their home right in with Grey Owl's home.
That is wild.
So the cabin was designed so that the beaver lodge could be half in the cabin and the other half is outside the cabin.
So they can go in and out into the water.
That's right, and in and out of the cabin that way.
Way ahead of his time, Grey Owl spoke and wrote of the threat civilization posed to native peoples and wildlife. His fame eventually resulted in a command performance at Buckingham Palace in 1938. When you see these photos, you understand how he could pass as an Indian. But he wasn't quite what he seemed.
So tell me, Colleen, now that we're here, who is Grey Owl?
Well, Grey Owl was actually an Englishman who was born as Archie Bellany in England, and he always dreamed of becoming an Indian. and also about the wilds of Canada. His big reason for coming here was to go into the wilderness and to find some Indians and live with them and learn how to live their ways.
So how did he get his name Grey Owl?
Well, he did get connected with the Ojibwe people, and he married into them and was friends with them, and it was a very, very close relationship there. And they noticed that he was always listening to everything they said, and he was always taking little notes, and they teasing him, you know, and they called him Little Owl, and eventually that became Grey Owl. So this is his grave here.
Oh, wow.
He was just about 50 years old when he died in 1938. The day after he died, it was revealed in the newspapers that he indeed was not an Indian like he had said he was, but that he was actually an Englishman. Now, some people were really upset about this and confused in that. Even his wife hadn't known. But you know what? In the end, most of them said it didn't really matter.
He seemed like quite a complicated man, and probably somewhat tormented too. But while some people were disillusioned about the man, I believe his message and much of his presence still remain very powerfully today.
I think going to his cabin brought home to me not the fraud about who he was, that he was actually British and not a Native American, but that he really was for promoting the nature in this area and how much he really did love the area. It was a beautiful area, and so I can envy him living on that lake. It's beautiful.
You can't camp at the cabin, but this campsite is only about an hour away.
This is bear country, and when you're here, you've got to think of everything with sense, especially trash, but also toothpaste, gum, food on your clothing, anything that has a scent that might attract a bear must be put away and then put up in this bear cache. You use a ladder to get up there, and you know the bear can't get up here because of these steel protections, and you just put it on up. It's high enough so the bear can't reach it, and then the most important thing to remember, take the ladder away at the end so the bears can't get up there.
It's 9 o'clock at night. I know it's still light out, but it's been a long day. It's been a good day, but I'm a bit exhausted. Gotta get some sleep. I could stay in the quiet wilderness of Prince Albert forever, but I have 5,000 miles to go. I'm heading across Saskatchewan's Great Plains to catch my flight to the next province. This is North America's largest grain-growing region, with mile upon mile of wheat, oats, barley, and it also has over 100,000 lakes. Western Canada has a good network of internal air routes, which comes in handy when you're traveling the kinds of distances I am. I'm heading to Alberta's oil town capital, Edmonton, before traveling south to Calgary for the world-famous Stampede. Thanks to its oil riches, Edmonton has become one of Canada's fastest-growing cities.
The #1 tourist attraction in Alberta, the West Edmonton Mall.
Covering over 5 million square feet, if you stretch it all out, it would almost cover New York City's Central Park. It has over 800 stores and services, a water park, amusement park, and 27 movie screens.
There's a ton of stuff you can do here, but some of it you might want to do before you eat. You can practice your shooting. Or you can take a walk with the penguins. Come on. Come on, Buggy. And you can't forget the national sport, ice hockey, eh?
For a quick pick-me-up, you can visit your local oxygen bar. Or get an aqua massage.
Oh, yeah. And after a long day, why not crash at the mall too?
The most popular hotel in Canada, the Fantasyland Hotel, offers accommodation with themed rooms. There's Polynesian rooms.
Hey, wipe out!
There are Western rooms.
Whoa, partner, I'll get off here. Partner, sir.
Or trucker rooms.
This room's a big 10-4. I'm gonna hit the sack at the back of a truck. And I never even went shopping.
I'm heading down to Calgary for the greatest outdoor show on earth, the Calgary Stampede.
Calgary is just a couple hours away, and inspired by last night's hotel, I think I'll try to find a ride in a real truck. Going to Calgary?
Yeah.
Sweet.